that, I'm going to turn this over to Congressman Maxwell Frost.
Thank you, Robert. Hello, everybody. I am here today to stand alongside of some of my colleagues and these creators to say, not only am I a no on tomorrow's TikTok ban bill, but I'm a hell no on tomorrow's TikTok ban bill. Look, we got to be clear. There's going to be an attempt to try to spin this to say it's not a ban, it's not a ban. But let's look at the facts. If you research and look into acquisitions of this size, putting a 180-day time period on it, 5 months, especially, we're talking about a very large company. There's only a few players who can even afford to buy something like TikTok, which puts us into antitrust territory. There are automatic pauses that are put from a month to a year that can inhibit on this 5-month period that we put up. So essentially what this bill is doing is setting this wholesale up to fail. And I truly believe that there's too much ambiguity here to mess with, especially when we're talking about an application that is a huge part of our lives and for small businesses and content creators here in the United States. That's reason number one. It's unreasonable to believe that in 180 days that a buyer will be found. And that the deal can move forward, which would result in TikTok being banned. Whether it's banned for a year or 2 years or 6 months, a ban is a ban. Number two, I believe that it is an infringement on our First Amendment rights, and it violates the Constitution. You don't have to just ask me. The American Civil Liberties Union also agrees with us on this as well. And the way they put it, I think, is great. There's going to be a lot of folks who say, oh, well, because it's a forced sale and they're not explicitly banning it, it's going to be fine in the courts. ACLU calls that a fig leaf of an argument, and I also agree. We're talking about a platform that allows people to put out information, news, whatever they want to put out that over 170 million Americans use. And I think that's important to keep in mind. The last thing I'll say that's top of mind for me is a lot of y'all know I'm from the state of Florida. The beautiful state of Florida, and sometimes scary state of Florida. I live in a state where our governor, Ron DeSantis, and his cronies and neo-fascist right wing is moving to change history in the state of Florida. Middle schoolers will read in their textbooks that black people that were enslaved received personal benefit from it. Don't Say Gay was passed to erase our queer communities from our campuses. They're passing legislation to try to shield what's going on with the climate crisis. I hear from students all the time that get their information, the truth of what has happened in this country, from content creators on TikTok and on different social media platforms. And to take that away, I'm just thinking specifically about my constituents right now, about people in the state of Florida, people in the state of Texas, where we are on the front lines of these fascist attacks. It's platforms like this that can help combat some of that disinformation. Now, I do have to say, am I concerned about Americans' data? Yes, I am. I am highly concerned about our data being collective and being misused by both foreign adversaries and also domestic companies. But this bill does not fix that problem. Let's be honest here. This bill doesn't fix it. We could pass this. It could get signed tomorrow. I hope it doesn't. And in 6 months, in a year, we'll be back at the same conversation, possibly talking about some other social media platform that's misusing our data. So if Congress wants to be serious and craft legislation that'll protect all Americans from all bad actors, I'm in. But for this, count me out, 110%. And with